crazy, but they're going through traffic, and if it goes wrong for one, it's going to go wrong for the other. That feels high risk, but maybe it's not if you're in the industry.
Well, I think it's a blessing and a curse, isn't it, to have your two cars running 1-2, leading by 4, 5, 6 minutes, I think it's up to by now. But at that point, yeah, if you get struck with sudden showers on one side, there's no warning for either car because they're just following each other. One car can't help the other by giving the other car half a lap's heads up, for example. If there's oil down, it's the same thing. Like teams normally work together in that respect. If they have multiple cars out on circuit, one will report to the other. And again, if they're nose to tail, then they're just going to follow each other in, aren't they? So fair play to Winward for sort of allowing them to race as long as they have done, and it was pretty spectacular.
Did you see the moment when Maro Engel went side to side with Max Verstappen?
Oh, yes.
And that was almost akin to the Vanthoor brothers a few years ago into Tiergarten. It went okay, but I mean, Engel, 2 wheels on the grass into Tiergarten.
Fair play. I think he pulled out and just kind of accepted his fate, straightened everything up, slowed it down as much as he could and just got it straight because that grass is so slippy.
Did he end up driving right across the grass at Tiergarten?
I think he just got it completely straight and, using all of his years of experience to just, go, not put any yaw in the car in any shape or form, otherwise he would have speared off in whichever direction the momentum was taking at that point. So, he called it. But, it was really good to watch. It was, two like-for-like cars, side for side, literally going for a one-car gap. It was almost like something out of a movie, really. And but fair play. They came out unscathed. But if I was the boss of Winward and Mercedes, I would definitely be wincing on that one.
Do you think this is the thing in behind separating them out? Then they've got over 40 seconds now between them. And do you think that was deliberately done at the last pit stop for those reasons, David, going towards the last 3 hours?
Yeah, that's a good point. I noticed earlier on that the 3-car did its pit stop by 0.5 over the minimum time, and then the 80 was 7 seconds over. So potentially that was an artificial way to just separate them. Because at the end of the day, they're both factory cars, and at the end of the day, they're racing for the brand. The drivers are absolutely racing for themselves, but you sometimes remember who pays you.
Yeah, good point. Been telling Snowy that for years. He still hasn't grasped the concept. Hence he's in the comms box.
5 minutes ago we had a decision about the number 80 Mercedes. They were investigating maybe some speeding in a code 60, but that's been checked now by the officials and it is a no further action. Haven't seen anything about this potential short pit stop for one of the AMGs either, and one or two of you remarking on the collective that the graphics that tell us the countdown of a minimum pit stop reference time don't always sync with the timing system from Vega. So although there was this 0.7 of a second that looked like it hadn't been served in one of the pit stops, I think enough water has gone under the bridge now to say they're in the clear regarding that.
Johnny, I know we've only got a couple more minutes before Snowy and Hindhoff turn up. I just want to say hello to Sammy Moutran, one of the Moutran brothers, familiar to us in the Dubai 24 hours. He's found himself in hospital, telling me nothing serious, so he's just detention seeking. Get well soon, Sammy. We're keeping him sane while he's on his hospital bed, recovering from whatever it is, a big toe or something, an ingrown toenail probably. So stop your attention seeking, Sammy. Crack on, mate.
This race for this year, David Pittard, falling slightly earlier than it did last year because it goes with the bank holiday. So it was Ascension Day on Thursday in Germany and other places too, so I understand. It was a June race last year, but I suppose you're coming out of this now thinking there's still quite a lot of the motorsport year to go. So how does it look for you between now and the end of the year? Or is some of that undecided?
No, it's full gas now, which is mega. I mean, always
nice to have stuff in place and cemented.
It's better that way round than the other, definitely. So I've got kind of four programs going on. KCMG will be back to do a couple of NLSs before the end of the year, which will be cool. I'm also racing a GT World Challenge Sprint for the new KPX team with a BMW. So that's a new outfit, an entity, which I'm sort of a lead driver for, trying to bring everyone on for that, which is really cool. Sprint Championship is super competitive and really, really good. Also active in driver coaching as well. I work with Darren Lung at WRT for his WEC program, as well as his Paradigm Competition GT World Challenge Endurance program.
Yes.
So Darren likes to keep me busy as well, as I follow the Paradigm team around on their calendar as well.
Darren's still loving it as much as he ever has.
Oh, yeah, he's mad for it. He's mad for it. And after a very strong start to the year, both at the Silverstone 500 and at Spa, that didn't yield results, I think he's even more motivated for Le Mans coming up. So, yeah, watch this space.
We really enjoyed dropping by the way. I'm sorry it's not in better circumstances.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a habit like that, unfortunately. So I like to come in hopefully with a bit more positive news next time.
Well, yeah, and the next time we're at a big event like this, I hope to almost not see you.
Yeah.
Because that means you'll be, in the working, and it'll be going far better as well.
Exactly.
But yeah, so many KCMG fans will be disappointed because we know you had a quick car this weekend. There'll always be another race though, just around the corner, and it sounds like there will be. For
Unfortunately,
you.
yeah. I mean, I hate that saying. I hate that saying, but yeah, you're right. So
I know that feeling. Thank you so much for popping by. David Pittard here in the Global Broadcast Centre. It's the 54th edition of the ADAC Ravenel 24 hours of the Nürburgring, and with Danny Juncadea leading in the number 3 AMG for Winward Racing. He now has a lead of 26 seconds over Mauro Engel in car number 80, one of the Supras on the Grand Prix track currently. By the way, the best placed Supra looks to be the 4th placed SP10 car, number 90 from Teichmann Racing. That might well have been it, actually. And the leader in VT2 for rear-wheel drive cars is the 500 car, which, remember, it's rear-wheel drive on it in its own category, and then front wheel and all-wheel drive in the other VT2 entry. And leading the rear wheel drive is the sub 7 VGT Adrenaline Motorsport 330i BMW. How's Cup 2 getting on? Because that's always close even into the final hours. 900, the Black Falcon team Porsche continues to lead from Team Liquimolly's number 902 car. That was in amongst the top 4 of start Group 2, as now the Schaeffler-backed Lamborghini that suffered, it just looked like it kind of ground to a halt. I couldn't see a tyre down on the 130 Lamborghini at the start of the Dottinger Ruhr, but this car having to come back to pit lane on the end of a tow rope, sadly, for Nick Yellerly, who's been absolutely rapid through the course of this weekend. Peter Snowden coming back into one of the hot seats in the Global Broadcast Centre. It feels like now, Snowy, we're sort of on the home straight, but then I checked the watch and there's still 3.5 hours to go.
So we're only half an hour into a normal NLS race to go, that's all. And that's it's one of the things that you still find incomprehensible about this race, that you have to sort of reset your brain and recalibrate. We've said it so many times. We've had all these hours of racing because it's a day long. We think, oh, we're nearly at the end, but 3.5 hours is the bulk of an NLS race and effectively 2 Formula 1 races.
And
think about it that way.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Indeed.
As well.
Welcome back, John.
Good morning, everybody. Just after 11:30 as we grind our way towards the end, and the excitement, the front of the field we hear has been frozen. Out there, David Pittard stayed with us actually, and he's got no home to go to apparently. He's
Well, he has. He's just down at Adenau. That's the point.
I know, that's
he's got the closest place
you
to
live
go.
in Adenau, and I've got to stay at the Centre Parks. Where was my invitation?
Well, after your schnitzel recipe that you were describing earlier on, you can come around any time. It sounded very tasty.
Next time I'll blag myself a little Ford Nugget or something like that and park on your drive. That's probably and bring a bike or something to get
E-bike round here.
E-bike round here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's pretty steep.
Oh yeah, good point, fair point. And I'm not in the first. Although I was a very keen cyclist in my youth, I'm not in the first flush of youth anymore. I got a problem for the number 909 touring back in. This is one of the
right rear puncture.
cars. Another right rear puncture.
Carcass is still there, but looks like the inner sidewall's deflated or coming away. It's there. You just mentioned parties there, John, just very quick, and I'll be very careful where I go with this, but in 2023, this chap sitting next to us was one of the team that won this race in a non-German brand in the Ferrari. Epic one. I sent him a little message at the time just saying congratulations, hope you have a good evening, etc, etc, and he took 3 days to respond. Funny that, isn't it? And why was that? Because where had Klaus taken you to?
Klaus Abelin, this was.
Oh no, I didn't go. The mechanics that actually worked hard, they all flew to Ibiza, but I just...
What, straight after the race?
Monday.
Yes,
so
effectively.
literally stripped everything out, took it back down the road because it's not that far away.
Yeah.
Threw it. I bet nothing got packed up right. Everything just got thrown in, and the next time they took out, there was bits of cable. And where's that span? Where's the 10 mil spanner gone? It's all.
When it's all covered.
Yeah.
When it's all covered in champagne, who cares, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. The big story has been the BMW M Touring, and the gap at the front of the field is coming down as the number 80 is catching up. It was supposed to have been frozen, is what we've heard. Maybe they're going to set up a grandstand finish with still the time to go. Max Verstappen got out of that car recently and spoke to our pit lane reporters. Let's have a listen to what he had to say. This was a little bit earlier on, so we're just queuing that up for you. We'll keep an eye on the times while you do that. That Porsche still making its way back. I'll tell you that Porsche was a 909 K Kramer Racing Porsche Cup car, sitting 9th in Cup 2. Slightly fewer Cup 2 cars than normal, but that's probably just as well given the amount of SP9 and SPX cars that we've got live and free around the world on RS1, part of the Radio Show network of channels. The World Feed TV available via Nürburgring 24 official YouTube channel. Here's Max Verstappen just after he got out of the car.
Okay, so can you give us a short summary about the last stint you just drove?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, back in the daylight, trying to keep it safe while, of course, still maintaining a decent pace, and it felt good. Like the car was working well, so it's just trying to stay out of trouble. Which on the final lap was very close. In front of me, 2 cars touched, but we luckily were safe there.
What do you like most about driving the GT3 car compared to the other cars you normally drive?
I think in general it's just the competition, the endurance style racing where you share with teammates. The 24-hour race here, the track is super challenging, so it's just the whole combo.
Is the 24-hour race so far as you expected it to be, also for you and the team?
So far we couldn't wish for it to go any better, but it's still a few hours to go, so we just need to really stay focused, and then we'll see where we end up.
Are you already considering to come back next year to the 24-hour race? Did you fall in love with it?
Of course, I mean, I will for sure try. It always depends a bit on my schedule, but let's first enjoy now.
Thank you so much.
That's an excellent Max Verstappen impression by Tim Sherbuth there. AMG driver sitting just to the right. Now that's going back to the garage. They've taken the right rear wheel off completely, so this could be suspension, maybe something to do with a sensor under the back of there as well. What drama, David, this is, and might be getting an idea of what's going on. Engel goes past.
Yeah. I mean, the previous lap, Engel was 15 seconds a lap faster. And then at this point here, Jonker is in get home mode. He's just trying to survive. So, yeah, we're going to speculate what's wrong with that rear right corner. Yeah. I mean, if the mechanics, Winwood are a top bunch of guys. If they can get the car back out again, they can still salvage a podium. But, I mean, any extended length of time, they're never going to make that time up. And, yeah, Jonker does not look happy.
I crunched some numbers earlier on, and I reckon it's a 4-way fight for third between the cars behind the Winwood cars. So that effectively, and I'll tell you why this is the case, because the 84 Red Bull Abt Lamborghini and Conor De Filippi's BMW Touring 24H, those guys are going to do one stop fewer than everyone else. They can get home on an exact number of stops, whereas everybody else needs a little splash at the end, including Nicky Team for Valkenhorst and the Rover Racing BMW. It's the same for the Winwood cars, but they had over 5 minutes on the field. So my thought was that they were home and hosed, all things being equal, which they aren't. Now,
Well, that 84 car, John, is at Flansgarten now.
Yeah, so it's about to go into second.
Yeah.
So they're going to lose second place here. This could be a podium disappearing. They're working with purpose. I will say that. I like to see that, David. If you're a driver in the car, you don't want them scratching their heads and pointing at things. You want to hear them shouting like that. Oh, it's come down off the jacks. Now, is that a good sign or a bad sign? Not sure.
Yeah, I can only speculate. I mean, Danny, hopefully the team are keeping updated on the radio what's going on. It's going back on the higher jacks, so they call it the elephant feet, so they've really got to get underneath the back end of that car, yeah. So, yeah, it's potentially not going to be a big one.
Is there anything particular under the right rear wheel arch, like a control unit or a drive belt for something on the for a pump or something on the back of the...
I can only imagine it's drive shaft, the hub...
They get a hammer around here, don't they? They really do.
Yeah.
Because you're running over curbs, but you're also talking to Max Martin earlier on, and he was saying we run up against a lot of curbs now that you can't ride because they're slightly steeper, and you actually use them to straighten the car up, which is why you often see little scuffs on the edge of the tyre, Snowy.
The cameraman just gone right in there, and you could just see that's kind of qualified that which Davies just said. It's not brake, which is on the disc. Obviously, the caliper could work on there. He's got in on his back, right in, as if it's towards the inside of the drive shaft or something, which would suggest a joint or something there.
If you don't know the architecture, the physiology, if you like, of these race cars, the engine is in the front of these cars. They're checking everything else as they go along. They've cleaned the windscreen. They've cleaned out all of the air intakes. They've lost second place now as Engsley's gone through in the Lamborghini. No, they haven't quite yet, but he must be close.
Yeah, he's just coming to Tiergarten.
Yeah. The engine in the front drives a gearbox which is not straight off the back of the engine as you would have on most road cars. The gearbox and the rear differential are all at the back of the car, and the drive shafts go right in to that. It's called a transaxle. It helps balance the weight of the car. The engine is pushed far back. There goes the Lamborghini across the line in front of us, and second place has gone for the number 3 Winward car. Next, it will be Conor De Filippi for BMW in the XPX leader. The car that was the April Fool joke. Well, nobody is laughing now. We are loving this car. Loving it. What a project this is. I know it's not your manufacturer, but you've got to give them a chapeau, haven't you?
They're my manufacturer in GT1 Challenge Sprint, and I think as any automotive fan, to make a fast touring is epic.
Everyone loves a fast wagon.
Absolutely.
That's a T-shirt. I've been saying that all week.
Yeah, he's got the merchandising right already, John. He's way ahead of the game. Right, Andreas Bruce said that it would be top 10 of that car. It's actually top 5 now.
This is coming down to the bridge at now. Oh dear. We can hear the onboard. Well, he's still changing gear. Oh, I don't like that squeaky.
Something's flailing on the overrun.
As suspension, something's grinding, I would suggest.
When he lifts, is he getting a bit of rear wheel steer there, I wonder? And that's rubbing or grinding, as you say, passing some slower vehicles and the recovery vehicles and the Armco trucks coming up. Oh, I do not like that. That's exactly, David, the sound you don't want to hear when you're leading a motor race. You imagine sounds like that when you're going on to the last lap of a big race. This was getting on for 4 hours out. He's actually done pretty well to get that back. If that is a drive shaft that's either popped
it can't be a drive shaft. I reckon suspension. I think like something in the suspension's failed, which is now rubbing against the rim, which is that kind of squeaky noise you can
we
hear.
Didn't see them take the rim off. If we'd seen that and seen the swarf or any grinding on the inside of the rim, that would have given it away.
It's not a heavy metallic sound, is it, like a drive shaft? It's something relatively light, as you say, something catching.
If you've ever had
toe link failed or something, or
if you've ever had a stone or a pebble get in between your brake caliper and your alloy wheel, it's just that noise. It's just enough for you to go, what's that? And it'll grind a little
This is the fight
groove.
for third, as
So-
you rightly described. As the Touring's just gone through, here's the Aston Martin, and then only 4 seconds behind now is the Rover BMW. And yeah, a few hours back they were nearly a minute back. So the Rover BMW's on a charge as well.
So with now 3 hours and a quarter to go, Mauro Engel in the number 80 Winward Racing, the Ravenol car in the Ravenol 24 Hours of the Nürburgring, is leading the motor race by 5 minutes and 20 seconds. They have one more stop to do than the Lamborghini Huracan in second, but it's not a full stop. It's round about, it was 34 minutes, but the slight easing of the pace, I reckon it's probably about 30 minutes of fuel that they're going to need at their last stop. So that will easily be soaked up within that 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Then Connor De Filippi is in third place for the BMW, 1 minute and 30, call it 1 minute and 40 behind second place. He's got 11.5 seconds on Nicky Team and the Rover Racing BMW number 99. The problem for those two cars is they cannot make it to the end on the same number of stops as the two cars ahead. They are, again, 24, 25 minutes short at the end, so there'll be a short stop. What kills you, David, as you know, and I'll come to you, Snowy, in a second, it's not necessarily even how long you stop for in the pit lane, but it's slowing down and then getting back up to speed again as everybody else is going flat out down the front straight. You lose time there as well.
Yeah, I think the final pit stops is about 15 to 20 seconds between that. The closer to the end of the race you
Correct.
pit, the shorter the pit stop rule is effectively. So the guys that can go the latest can pit for the shortest amount of time effectively. That can sometimes overlap with how much fuel you actually need. You might end up overrunning your pit stop, but actually you need that fuel to get to the end of the race effectively. So,
and you always have to have a bit in hand here, because if you have to do one more lap, it's not a couple of miles. It's not even 4 miles 7 kilometres at Spa, not even 8.5 miles at Le Mans. It's a heck of a long way to have to soft pedal a car.
Yes,
You've had to do that, haven't you?
I have, yeah. When I was doing my permit, way back in the day. Way back in the day.
Would that have failed you on the permit?
Yeah, it would. I wouldn't have got my laps. So
right, yeah, good point.
It coughed at Bergwerk. And,
no!
Yeah, and then you had to...
All the way uphill?
Yeah, and then it was a...
That's David Pittard from KCMG AMG GT Mercedes. Peter Snowden is the other voice. Your point, Peter, is they're still working on this number 3.
Yeah, David, you're familiar with a lot of these cars, these SP9 GT3 category cars. You've driven quite a few different makes around here. Put yourself metaphorically in Danny Junkadai's seat right now. You've been in the car, you've heard the noises, that feeling, that horrible sinking feeling. Your engineers are talking to you. You're sitting in the pit box now. You're staying in the car. They're working on it. What's going through your mind from a driver's perspective as you sit there?
I think back to what did I do to that rear right that has now caused this. And the first thing that keeps to my mind is the Mauro Engel Max Verstappen contact. That was right-hand side of the number 3 car, and you never know. That's all it takes to fatigue something.
Back in the night, that impact down the drive shaft as it come out hours later.
This is not your regular race track, ladies and gentlemen. Those watching and listening, and I accept there's an awful lot of you watching this for that car and for its rookie driver. And first of all, in this race, it's a rookie. In this race,
you're only stating facts, John.
Right, stating the facts. What I will say is he has more than pulled his weight this weekend. His times have been brilliant. It's so hard to compare anything here, because within an hour or 2 hours or a set of tyres or 3 yellow flags and a code 60 or something else. But what you can say, and David, you've seen a lot of people jump into these cars, he's with a quality crew. Both of those cars have got high quality GT3 drivers that would be in the conversation with yourself for top GT3 drivers in the world, and he hasn't looked out of place at all, has he?
No, I think he's almost reinvented the game a little bit. I have to take my hat off and say...
In what respect? That's an interesting comment.
So I think he brings fresh ideas to the Nordschleife. So what he did in his first stint going into Tiergarten with the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin rolls out the throttle earlier than normal because he knows he's going to catch the slower class car through the final chicane.
Yeah.
But Max's instinct was, right, if you're lifting off, I'm going for it. I think every other driver would be like, right, okay, we're going to back off with that car because of the risk involved with that. But it just seems how fluid he made that decision to then get to the inside. I believe he's reinvented the game.
Right, do you think it will change the way people drive here at the top in that top class?
Yeah, well,
because you can all do that. It's just that's not how your mindset was. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, Max still comes from like a sprint racing background. His whole career has been sprint single-seater racing, and sometimes that pays off, sometimes that doesn't, as we've seen in Max's F1 career as well. And yeah, I think some of us more seasoned GT veterans, maybe we take a little less risk in that situation, but he's kind of proved it's possible. So yeah, let's see.
Is it fair to say then, we always talk about endurance racing, so when I do the long IMSA races, the 24 hours, the 12s, the 10s, when I do a series of sprint races as the second place cars should be coming in the pits, and I think they just have a series of sprint races separated by pit stops and sometimes driver change and tyre changes. Is this the slight outlier because of the nature of the circuit here, where you still have to keep a bit in hand, and is that now going to change?
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest place where risk versus reward. Danny Juncadella out of the car.
Oh dear.
So I would say that this team, they want this car to finish. Mercedes will want this car to finish. So they'll do their utmost to get it out there. But it's whether they can do it in the 3 hours remaining in the rest of the race. But if the driver's out, it's not going to be a quick fix.
Yeah, indeed.
And
so
if people start hugging each other, then that's the kiss of death at that point.
Yeah, because that's, sorry lads. And Danny Juncadella, I've known Danny for a very, very long time. He's normally very smiley. Everybody has been pushing so hard, and for Winward Racing, for Bryce Ward, for Russell Ward, for Christian Hohenadel, and for the rest of the team here in Germany who've put this together with AMG. Remember, they've taken over this part of the AMG portfolio from GetSpeed, who are off doing other things. And this is their first 24 hours as well, Peter. And it almost feels a bit unfair. But that is the nature of this race.
It's the reality, unfortunately, that this motor racing is tough, GT racing is tough, and this is the toughest race in that category. I've got a feeling that car is not going back out.
No, I think you're right.
I was intrigued, David, at your comments about Max and the Aston earlier on, and you were saying about the sort of, we've mentioned many times during the show throughout the nearly 24 hours.
Ja, auch hier Spekulationen sind eigentlich falsch, aber ist so, das war mein erster Gedanke war von wegen, ja, hat vielleicht irgendwie mit der Spritkalkulation was nicht gestimmt. Wir hatten das ja auch gehört bei welchen der Top-Autos, beim Aston Martin mit der 34, da hieß es auch, die können nur noch 7 Runden fahren, weil irgendwas mit mit der Spritkalkulation nicht ganz so stimmt. Also das sind Dinge, diese 8 Runden, wo wir immer sagen, du kannst 8 Runden fahren mit einer Tankfüllung, das ist auch relativ knapp, wenn du da irgendwie ein bisschen erhöhten Spritverbrauch hast oder hast beim Tanken, weil es ein bisschen zu sehr geschäumt hat, den Tank nicht 100% voll bekommen und dann fehlen dir vielleicht 1 oder 2 Liter und die können es dann ausmachen, dass du im Bereich Schwabenschwanz stehen bleibst. Aber wie gesagt, auch das Spekulation. Müssen wir auch erstmal hören, vielleicht mal nachher bei der Abbox nachfragen, ob da was in Ordnung ist. Also, Platz 2 ist drin, der Lambo von Ab, die drittplatzierte Mannschaft zu dem Zeitpunkt, der Kombi von BMW Schubert ist drin. Das heißt, im Moment, haben Sie gesagt, hier kann noch jederzeit nahezu alles passieren.
Ja, 3 Stunden, 1 Stunde weniger als die normale NLS-Distanz, die hier gefahren wird. So, die Abmannschaft hat den Service beendet, Fahrzeug wieder unterwegs mit der Startnummer 84. Luca Engstler ist sitzen geblieben. Geht jetzt in einen weiteren Stint hinein.
Ja, die Mannschaft mit der 84 auch schnellstes Team. Nicht nur die schnellste Runde mit 8:08,7, sondern ich werfe immer gerne diesen Blick auf diese